Hello everyone, Split Persona here, and welcome back to part 2 of our Inquisitor, Martyr, Void Crusade guide. So in the last one we went over the basics of what the Void Crusade is, how to unlock it, and if you have a season running, what kind of objectives you're going to have associated with it. Now we are going to actually jump into the Void Crusade itself. So you're going to come over here to your Void Crusade interface. You're going to select which one you want to do, just hover over top of it, and then you're going to hit launch. So I'm doing Ebony, simply because I always do Ebony. Ebony is the one that I know the most. So we're going to launch. This here is your Void Crusade interface. Now, as you can see here, your Supreme missions, I have 3 of them on this. Now, there are a few things to know. These are secret missions. In order to unlock these, you have to find special events, hidden cogitators, or, other things of that nature. My suggestion is, if you're going to try to master this, you will need the aid of a map, unless you've memorized it. Simply because certain ones of these will have access. Like, you may need to complete this one and this one in order to unlock this. But in order to unlock this one, there's a cogitator over here that you have to activate, or something along those lines. It varies from map to map. Now, up here is your difficulty bar. If you look, I'm at difficulty 1, and I have 5 lives. If we look at this mission here, it says secure the artifact, but it also has a +1 difficulty mission. Not only does that raise the difficulty for this, but it will also raise the difficulty for every other mission that is currently locked and not available. So my suggestion is, when you go into a Void Crusade, if you see one of these, try to complete the other missions and unlock as many of them as possible until you get to another one. The more of these standard ones you unlock, the less this bar is going to go up until the very end. Now, if you're trying to master it by completing every last mission, there are specific pathways that I would suggest doing. And I'll try to leave a link in the bottom of the video. There's a whole Steam community that has, maps where each mission is numbered by which order you should do them in if you're trying to master them. So I'll leave a link in the description that will show you which, if you're going for, say, the Ebony here, like I normally do, I go in a specific order. If I master it and I try to get the best loot possible, I'll go in a different order than if I were just trying to speedrun it and try to just get, as many items as possible. So I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. That way you guys can go there, select your Void missions that you want to do, your Void Crusades, and you can actually look at the maps. They'll also tell you what is required to unlock these secret missions. Now, there are also, in addition to secret missions, there are also these little bonus blue missions. They unlock just like a regular one. As you go along, you complete this mission, these 2 branches unlock, okay? But these will apply bonuses if you complete them to your character, such as bonus damage versus chaos, or bonus damage versus tyrannid, stuff like that. So bonus missions are always good. If you complete all 3, you will get a bonus key. So always keep an eye out for bonus missions. If you can do them, do them. The other thing you're going to want to look at is this right here is your in-game timer. It's not moving right now. because this timer will only move while you're in a mission. So as long as I'm sitting here, or if I'm even out in another, say on my command bridge and stuff like that, that timer won't move. It's only moving when you're in a mission. So there's that seasonal objective I talked about where it requires you to complete a Void Crusade with all these keys filled up and all these info fragments within 75 minutes. This is what they're talking about, is this timer here. You need to be in and out of your missions within 75 minutes and collect all these items. It is difficult, simply because of the time limit. The time limit is what makes that the most challenging thing, in my opinion, as far as a Void Crusade objective. It is doable. I have done it multiple times, but it is hard. Since we are on that subject, these keys are what you get to unlock your chests at the Supreme missions. You get 1 for completing 5. You get 2 for just beating the Void Crusade itself. You get another 1 for completing all 3 bonus missions. However, there is also another aspect. There is, at random spot on the map in one of these missions, what is called a wandering servo skull. And just as this difficulty pops up here with a +1, it will also pop up alongside it and say just wandering servo skull. You will have a servo skull on the map somewhere. You will have 30 seconds to destroy it. If you do, you will get a ton of loot. Very high quality. You will get a bonus loot buff to your entire Void Crusade, and you will get an extra Void Chest key. So, if you can find that Wandering Servo Skull, get it. There is also a seasonal objective that does require you to hunt one down and kill it. So that is definitely something you need to look for, is one of those. So always keep an eye out for a Wandering Servo Skull. Info fragments. These here are found in specific missions, in specific spots. They are always in the same spot, always in the same mission. Like I said, everything is always in the same spot. It's the same layout, so you never have to worry about anything being random. Once you figure out a map that you like and you figure out how it works for you, go with it. Stick with that map. That will be the easiest way for you. Instead of bouncing around to all the other ones, stick with one that works for you, and you'll be good to go. You will find cogitators in the map, and the game will give you an in-game audio clue. It'll say, your tech priest will come onto your screen, and he'll say, info fragment nearby, cogitator nearby, something along those lines. That is your clue that there is one of those info fragments in your area. Once you click on it, it will unlock one of these info fragments. What these do is, it will tell you, once you complete the Void Crusade and you get to the treasure room in the Supreme mission, what is in one of the end game chests. So the more of these you can collect, the more you're going to know what is actually in those chests instead of picking at random. So my suggestion is collect these as well, because these are going to tell you, hey, if I'm farming for something, I'm going to be able to go and get it because I can actually see what is inside the chest instead of picking at random. So that's how these work. Info fragments are very important. The Empyrean key here This is part of the seasonal objective, so just ignore that for now. This, I do not know if this will be returning after the season is over. So I cannot say one way or the other. This here, end game loot bonus, loot rarity bonus, and loot quality. All of this stuff here increases the more missions you do and the higher your difficulty. So, the higher your difficulty score and the more missions here you have completed, the higher this will go up. This will increase what type of loot you get from your void chests at the end. The more you have on your score here before you open this, the better. Try to get that as high as possible. So if we go and say have this at a 10, for example, and then we complete a supreme mission, well, it'd be better if we could get it to say a 20 by doing, just a few more of these missions if we can. But just always keep in mind, you only have 5 lives. And the most you can have in a mission is 3 unless you buy buffs. You can bring in consumable buffs. You can bring in summons from Custodian Rebus. And you can bring in buffs from him as well. So any sort of buffs or consumables or anything along those lines, I would definitely say save them for a Void Crusade, because you will need them the most in here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to complete this mission here, and they function just like any other mission. You can put tarot cards on them if you want. It will function the same way as a regular mission. But the difference is, 1, we have a life counter, and 2, we're going to get much better loot. So I'm going to complete this mission, and then when I come back, we'll go over what exactly happened and what we have to deal with. So just give me 2 seconds, and I'll be right back. Okay, so if you look up here, you can see that that mission took me 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Now granted, I was not going fast. I was not trying hard. Just a casual stroll. But that timer counted how long I was in this mission. As far as going and unlocking stuff, you can see we have 2 branches here. We have this mission here, which is just a standard, but we also have this one here, but this one applies a difficulty +2. But it's the one that leads to the Supreme mission. Now, if I were to click this, this would unlock everything else and make them 2 levels harder, including all this. But because this is already unlocked, this will still stay at 82. So even if I were to do this one first, this one will still stay at 82. That's why I say, if you can, complete these missions until you get to another one that increases your difficulty, then do that one and complete your Supreme mission. Simply because it will give you the best bonus. And if you look up here, our end loot bonus is now plus 10%. So that is how that works. The more you complete missions, the more you go and get end bonus loot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this one here. I'm going to raise my difficulty and try to get to this bonus mission, because this bonus mission also has an info fragment, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm going to complete this mission, unlock this, and also by raising the difficulty one, you'll see that this stays the same. unless I level up and go from 82 to 83. If I go to 83, this will automatically jump to 83, because that's how Void Crusades work. They level with you. So, like I said before, if I go up a level, even if I go out of the game and try to level up, the Void Crusade will level up with me. So, always keep that in mind. They will level with you, and you cannot cheat the system that way. It is a legitimate end game mechanic. You have to beat it legit. So I'm going to complete this. I'm going to unlock this, and then we're going to see what we get. Okay, so now if you look, we are now at 7 minutes and 57 seconds. So again, not trying to rush through, just completing this mission casually, stuff like that. But if you are on a timer, you are going to want to pump as much movement and get through these missions ASAP. Because if you are trying to complete that 75-minute objective, I would seriously be falling behind. I would want this down about the 3-minute mark right now. And I don't have it down there, and I have about double the time limit I should right now. So, we completed this one, and this one was a +1 difficulty, because now we're up to difficulty 2. And if we look, I'm still at level 82. Same thing for this one. But this is now an 83. Same with this one. And this is what I'm talking about. When you're going through these missions, make sure you do the ones that do not have the difficulty bump ups first. Do as many of them as possible. Because now, just by doing another mission, I have an endgame loot bonus of +20. The more missions you do, the more loot bonus you're going to get. So try to get as many of these blank missions done as possible before you do your difficulty ones. Because if you start getting to the point where you're losing lives, you need to complete your Supreme Mission. Because your Supreme Mission goes off the difficulty, not whether or not you unlock it. Like, let's say I complete this one here, and I unlock the Supreme Mission. Even if I go and I keep raising the difficulty, that Supreme Mission is still going to go up, even though it's unlocked. It's not like the other missions here. It will go up in difficulty. It goes up according to your difficulty, not whether or not it's unlocked like the others. So your Supreme Missions go off your difficulty. Your regular missions, like these, go off when they're unlocked. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Your Supreme Mission, it goes off of your difficulty scale. If your difficulty begins to kill you, stop your Void Crusade, complete it before you lose everything. Because once you die and you lose all your lives, all that progress, all that time is gone. Including your Void Shards. So keep that in mind. Don't play around with it. If it starts to go and kick your butt and you start to lose lives, just bite the bullet, complete the Supreme Mission with the loot bonus that you have. So now we are going to do this bonus mission here. And if you look, plus 10% increased damage versus Tyrannid enemies. This is why I say bonus missions are so important. Because this right here is very handy, these bonuses, for completing Void Crusades, especially when you start getting to the higher difficulty levels. You will need these damage bonuses. This one, this is the path I normally take. I normally do this mission, this mission, this mission, this mission, this one, and this one. Simply because that will give me 3 keys, an info fragment, and the Supreme Mission. But I know this mission here pairs up very nicely with this mission. So what we're going to do is I'm going to complete this one. I'm not going to worry about getting an extra key. I'm just going to show you guys how it works. Because I'm not worried about getting 5 missions done. It may... I don't remember if it carries over if you complete the Supreme Mission and you get that one there. But we'll see when we get to the end. But we're going to jump into this together because I want to show you... I'm not going to worry about those. I want to show you where the info fragment cogitator is. And I want to show you how that functions. So I'm going to take you up there. I'll show you where that is. And then I'll finish out the mission and we'll take back to the map and we'll try to get to the end. And go from there. So we're going to find the cogitator and I'll show you what an info fragment looks like. Wait for it to load. Now, I do not have an optimized build for running this. So, I do apologize. But your info fragment, at least on this map, is normally straight ahead of you. And like I said, simply because we're not worried about the time, I can afford to go and kill these enemies. But if I were on that time limit, this is the worst thing I could be doing, is killing enemies. You don't want to kill enemies on Void Crusades if you're trying to complete that 75-minute timer.
Inquisitor.
And here it is.
Spectral scanning revealed info fragments of high importance in close proximity.
This is your alert that the info fragment is nearby. And if you look, there it is. Here's the cogitator. So we're going to click on this.
Blessed scanning psalms have been executed and indicate essential info fragments, Inquisitor. Data has been inloaded.
And that means that it's uploaded. So I'm going to complete this mission, and then I'm going to take you guys back to the main map, and we're going to show what it actually looks like when you go and collect an info fragment. Okay, now that this mission is done, now remember, this was a bonus mission, so we now have a plus 10% bonus against Tyranid enemies. But this is what the info fragment looks like when you collect it. It's highlighted. But more importantly, we now have a loot quality bonus of plus 5, a loot rarity bonus of plus 10, and the end loot bonus of plus 60. So, as I said before, bonus missions are extremely good. Do your bonus missions if you can. Do as many side missions as possible. If you're going to do a Void Crusade, you're going to want to do a Void Crusade. Don't go in halfway. Either go in and try to get this bonus up as high as possible and complete it, or just, do what I do and do the 5 and go. Because then you can get the key and go. But for today, I'm not worried about doing, my standard loot. Now, I don't see the servo skull. If I seen the servo skull, we would try to go for it, but I do not see it on any of these runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this mission here. Unlock this, and then once I have this mission completed, I'll bring you guys back, and then we will go through the Supreme mission. I'll take you guys all the way to the end of it. I'll finish the final objective of it, so as not to spoil anything. Well, there's really no spoilers, but that way you guys can go and get it done and stuff like that. I'll show off the loot room, and I think that should be about it for how you run a Void Crusade. So I'm going to do this mission, and I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to jump into this. Okay. Now, as you can see, we are up to a difficulty level of 4. We still have 5 lives, but we've unlocked the Supreme Mission. Now, if we click on this, you are going to see that it is at a level 85. That is because of the 4 difficulty levels here. Now, even if I were to go and say do this one here and this one here with this being unlocked, this will still scale up unlike the other stuff because it's a Supreme Mission. Supreme Missions go off of your difficulty, not whether or not they're unlocked. So always keep that in mind, like I said before. Supreme Missions, even if you go and hit as many other missions as possible, they go off of the difficulty, not how soon you unlock them. Regular missions, they can go and, you can unlock them and they'll still stay the same level they were when you unlock them. A Supreme Mission goes off of the difficulty, so always keep that in mind. If you start losing lives, always go and hit your Supreme Mission so you don't waste everything you just did. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into this. Now, the reason I said that this one up here, this bonus mission, was so helpful is because this is bonus damage against Tyranids. And if you look, this is a Tyranid mission. So we're going to deal bonus damage against them on a slightly higher level. So that's why I choose this pathway when I'm doing just a quick speed run. I do these 5 missions here, get my extra key, get my info fragment, and then I do a Supreme Mission. I'll get the bonus damage, I'll get a slightly higher loot bonus up here, and then I'm good to go. That's how I speedrun it. If I'm trying to go and actually complete the map, then it's a lot longer of a process. So always keep in mind how you're going to play this is going to dictate, how much time you're willing to put into it. If you want to speedrun it, I did it in about 13 minutes. Wasn't really trying hard, but I did skip my 1 or 2 missions here. So always try to get if you're gonna do this, try to get 5 missions minimum to get that extra key. But we're gonna jump into this. You're going to click your Supreme Mission, you're going to hit Start, and then it's going to pop up with this. This is a Supreme Mission. If you succeed or fail this mission, the Void Crusade will end. Do you still want to proceed? You can click No if you want to go back and do other missions, but we're going to click Yes. So we're going to load this up, and we are going to jump into it. And then once we load in, this is a sporadic assault. So basically we have to destroy the spore Tyranids. And I believe there's 5 of them. So we're going to destroy 5 of those. And then I'll show you what happens at the end. But for right now, if you look at the map, this is what the map looks like. And you'll notice that there's a blank section up here. That blank section is where your treasure room is. So, don't worry about trying to get up to there. But for right now, I'm going to try to speed run through this, and then I'm going to bring you guys back once I complete it. And, yeah, I'll bring you guys back at the last one. That way you can see what happens when you complete the objective and, what happens when you complete your crusade. Okay, so we're going to bring you guys back, and as you can see, I eliminated all but this last one. So we're going to charge in, wipe out these guys, plop a turret down, target him, and there we go. That is the Crusade done.
Inquisitor. There must be a teleport beacon nearby.
Now, when you finally do complete Crusades, if you look on your mini-map down here, there will be a teleport. So go to a teleport. Normally they are around your objectives. And you're going to want to teleport through them. They will take you to the treasure room. So, here's the treasure room. No, I just realized I was wrong. I apologize. This was not the treasure area. This was up in this corner. I apologize. So, this is the treasure room. As you can see, if we hover over these, they say void chest, contents unknown. However, this one here says void chest, ancient relics. Now, the reason for that is we have an info fragment. That info fragment tells us what is in this chest. So, that's why I say it is important to try to get it. If you are going to get as much loot as possible, try to collect as many info fragments. And if you look, we have the 2 keys for completing the Void Crusade. You get 2 keys for completing it, 1 key for completing 5. So normally when I do my typical run, I get 3 keys so I can open up 3 chests. So you can pick up 3 of these chests. However, there is also this. There's the Supreme Void chest. This is a free chest that you will always get that has a random collection of every item in these chests. So this is also something you will get. So you will have these 9 chests plus this one. You can go and have a maximum of 7 keys, and depending on your season, you may get this 8th key. I don't know if they'll do this in the next season. I'm hoping they will, because these are nice. But I have this extra key, so I can now open 3 chests as opposed to 2. So this here is the icon for if you have a info fragment, though. So, like I said, you can hover over it. It'll tell you what's in it, as opposed to contents unknown. So this one here, we open it, we get ancient relics, and it used up one of my keys. If you have a seasonal key, it'll use the seasonal key first. So if we come to one of these random chests and open it, we got crafting materials from that one, and we used a key. If we come to, say, this one here, oh, we got some good stuff from that one. So unless you have the info fragments, you're not going to know what's in these chests. It's just at random. And this right here will tell you how many keys you have available. So if you can't see it, don't be afraid. This will tell you how many you can open. Now we just have to open the Supreme Void chest. And like I said, there is a lot of good stuff in this. So, and then once you open that and you get your other ones, you're done. You just hit quit. And that is your Void Crusade finished. Nothing fancy. You know, the loot room is very nice. And then it just takes you back to here and it just says Void Crusade complete. Now, if you die and you lose all your lives or something like that, it will say Void Crusade failed. And while we're on the topic of that, what happens if you die in a mission and you fail one of these missions? Let's say you die here on this branch pathway here, okay? That pathway is permanently locked. Now, all these missions afterwards are locked. So if you die here and you fail this mission, you cannot complete these other missions. So dying is a big hindrance. The less you die and the more survivability you have for your character and the better your build is, the better. Like I said, this is end game. You are not going to want to go into this without anything less than your best. So if you die here, this branch will lock. If, let's say, you fail this bonus mission, you will not be able to get that bonus from it. And since you need, you know, all 3 of these to get one of the keys, you will not be able to get that key even if you complete the other two. So don't fail a mission. If you see that you're dying in one or two of the missions, complete your Supreme mission and just end that Void Crusade, because there's no way you're going to be able to do a completion run of that. So the other thing is, if you are trying to do a completion run, don't worry about your in-game timer unless you're trying to do it for the seasonal objective. The seasonal objective is a one-time thing. Once that seasonal objective is done, you don't have to worry about the timer. After that, take your time. Do not rush it. If it takes you a little bit longer to get through a mission, do it a little bit longer. Don't try to go and rush through a mission and spend your lives foolishly. Because if you do, you run the risk of ruining your run. So don't spend your lives whimsically. Make sure that you are planning ahead. Make sure that you're fighting your enemies correctly. Make sure you have your correct build. As far as any other little tips and tricks, like I said, when you unlock a mission, do anything that does not have a plus difficulty modifier on it. Do your blank missions first before that you have unlocked before you do your pluses, because it's going to make it that much easier to get through these other missions before they get harder. So do your blank missions first, then do your plus modifiers. Other than that, let's take a look at our loot. So, if we look at what we got there, okay, let's just sell off all the crap stuff real quick. And then I can show you better. So, what did we all get? We got a lot of stuff. We have a Daemon Forged Plasma Caliber. We have a Daemon Forged Omnisci Axe. We have Archaeotech Relics. We have a lot of, seasonal items. We have Psalm Codes. We have consumables. We have shards. We have a ton of that stuff. So, like I said, the Void Crusade is definitely your best way to get a really good end tier loot, but also any other type of loot that you're trying to grind out for. If you're going and trying to get a ton of tarot cards or shards or anything like that, you can look for those chests. If you have all of your info fragments, you can say, okay, this chest is saying that it has crafting materials. So since I know that this one has crafting materials, I can avoid that chest altogether. And I know I won't run into crafting materials in any of the other chests. So there's only 9 chests there. You've eliminated the crafting materials. Well, if you get all 5 info fragments, you've only got a chance of 4 chests not having a label on them. So you're going to have a very, very high chance of actually knowing where the items are that you're looking for. So, like I said, elimination is a big part of knowing what to look for. Even if it's not labeled what you're looking for with the info fragments, if you know it's not in one of those chests, you know it's in one of the unlabeled ones. So there's nothing to fear with going with that. But that is, as far as I can tell, everything that I know about Void Crusades. So hopefully this video was very helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a good day.